The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships from Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Ford, Kia, and Nissan, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Greece, Penfield, Fairport, and Canandaigua. Online at visionauto.com. Hello everyone and welcome to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. This is the second of our 2 end-of-the-season best ofs featuring some of our best and favorite stories. And we are on location at Vision Jeep Dodge Chrysler Ram on the Panorama Trail in Penfield, right across from Paychex, and proud participants of the Reason for the Season toy drive to benefit the children at Rochester General Hospital. We begin right here in Penfield, where we discovered a celebrity in the school's orchestra's violin section. This is the Penfield Orchestra and Wind Ensemble putting the finishing pre-concert touches on the overture from the Cowboys, a 1972 film starring legendary John Wayne.
So John Williams wrote the score for the Cowboys, John Wayne movie, and actually it was such a well-received score that he wrote then an overture for the piece, and it's very widely played nowadays.
A local legend is contributing to the effort. Parked right in the middle of the 16-member violin section is Katie Lembo.
I don't know, I really like the sound. Like, I also wanted to play the cello, but because it has like such a nice sound, but I don't know, I like playing high because this has the E string that's really high, so.
Lembo has for the past 3 years been the premier distance runner in Section 5. A 6-year varsity runner at Penfield, Katie finished 3rd at the McQuaid Invitational Cross Country meet for the 3rd time, claimed the Katie Harper Award as the section's top finisher in that premier race. She has established new marks on courses around the county and owns the sectional record for the 2-mile run.
Actually, when I first met her as a freshman, I knew that she did track because I asked all of my students what kinds of things they're doing besides the orchestra so that I know what takes up their time. But I had no idea how phenomenal she was or at what level she performed for track, and it's just wonderful that she's also a phenomenal musician.
Yeah, a lot of musicians are athletes and vice versa, and I think it just really helps to be like, have music and athletics together.
How do they work together?
Well, I think having something else besides just one of the two like helps to balance out, and you can use music when you're like running, or in my case, to like calm you down as you're running.
Roughly half the performers at this practice participate on sports teams, too.
And that's a very conscious effort to support kids to do both. Our athletic director, Pete Shambo, and I, and all of the teachers and coaches work to do whatever we can so that kids can participate in both of these great activities.
Do you think they work well together?
Oh, absolutely. There's so much crossover. The preparation for being a great athlete is no different than the preparation for being a great musician. It's the same process.
When we return, the local slant on the national debate over football concussions. Welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko, And we are on location, under construction right now, still open, but we'll be back bigger and better than ever come first of the year. We're also sponsoring the Reason for the Season toy drive to benefit the children at Rochester General. The sport of football isn't as invincible as it once was because we're taking better care of our kids. It took a while, but Brockport senior Jordan Blocker is back on the football field.
I feel great. I just got to get my conditioning and stuff back up, seeing as I wasn't able to do anything for about 3 weeks. So other than that, I just feel normal. Glad to be back out here with the fellas, putting in hard work.
3 weeks earlier, it was a whole different story. Blocker had taken a blow to the head in a scrimmage and was left face down, semi-conscious on the field.
It wasn't really scary, but it was nerve-wracking, really.
Yeah. What was the sensation? You understand the tingling in the hands and the like?
Oh yeah, I just couldn't feel it. It was more of I don't really know how to explain it, but I just couldn't feel my arms.
You're standing in the stands, and you know at first it's like, oh, whose kid is it? And then when you realize that it's yours, your heart just drops to your feet. And when I saw the cell phone go up and I knew they were calling another ambulance, that's when I knew that I needed to be on the field.
You knew your mom was out there. Did she say anything to you?
Oh yeah, she held my hand. I forget what she said though. I think she just said it was her.
I know on one hand all the precautions are reassuring, but it's also a little unsettling to see his head stabilize like that. So what's going through your mind when you see all this?
Oh, well, all the news stories, you think about kids that have been hurt, that have been paralyzed, and that's really the first thing that goes through your head is I hope that this is something that is not life-changing.
Blocker was immobilized, placed in a neck brace, and carried from the field.
Let's see, I remember getting into the ambulance, being put into the ambulance. That's about it.
How was the ride?
It was all right. The guy, he messed up on the IV twice. That hurt pretty bad. Left a pretty big bruise. I told my mom that the guy had stabbed me when I got to the hospital.
Gallows humor aside, all wasn't perfectly well for Blocker. There were issues to overcome still. Concussion issues.
10 years ago, you had just had a headache, you might have sat out for a little while and came back in. Now our school, and just about every school in Section 5, takes a computerized baseline test for concussion prevention, just in case someone does have a possibility of having concussion, that they'll take it and it'll tell them if they're up to their baseline. If they think they're a little bit delayed on their answers and stuff, it'll err on the side of caution, and we'll have them sit out.
If you add up all the forces that happened over the 2,000 hits, and just you were to jam it into one, it's like falling out of an airplane. It's that much force that goes to the brain.
Dr. Jeff Bazarian is a concussion specialist at the U of R Medical Center. Bazarian's on the cutting edge of research in the study of neurodegeneration, especially as it applies to football. He's working on a blood test that will detect the presence of a concussion and take the guesswork out. He sees injuries like this all the time. He treated Jordan.
If you have symptoms of a concussion and you're not getting better within a week, seek a concussion specialist. They're in Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse. You just gotta seek them out. Don't wait.
Blocker had to get past Bavarian before he could get back on the football field.
Well, they said don't spend too much time with screens. Don't spend too much time looking at a TV or looking at a cell phone or texting, especially.
So you took that all pretty seriously?
Yeah, I tried to slow down on all of that and just give my brain some rest.
Blocker's physical therapy sessions aren't over, but he was back on the football field. The fact that it took 3 weeks means we're taking a little better care of our kids. But this is tricky business, and the stakes are high. All right, so I'm a parent. I got a kid who wants to play football, and I have some reservations. And I come to you to ask for what you think. What do you tell him?
Well, I'd say there's lots of positive things about football. If the game is played right and safely, I think it can be right and correctly. It can be a safe sport. But I'm leery about it because of what we see in our research, that there's players that have subconcussive blows, never complain of a problem at all, but have some low-level damage on their MRI scans. So I'm concerned about that. Right now we don't know how to prevent that. So I'm a little nervous. I guess I would kind of advise you with caution. If you really want to let your kid play, if there's lots of good reasons, just do it with caution.
When we return, the single best play of the year in our Cellino and Barnes All Sports High School Game of the Week. The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by Cellino and Barnes. Car accident? Don't wait. Call 888-8888. Call Cellino and Barnes today. Welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. This portion of the Sport Beat is brought to you by Cellino and Barnes, your personal injury attorneys. We are on location under construction for the time being. We are still open and we'll be back after the first of the year, bigger and better than ever. Fairport had a soccer season for the ages, but the Raiders had to get through the Saints first. It's our revisited Cellino and Barnes All Sports High School Game of the Week. With 6 championships over the course of Coach Gianni Busani's stewardship already to their credit, this might have been the best Fairport soccer team yet. Unbeaten to this stage for the very first time. These teams hadn't played in over a year. The once beaten Churchville Chili, which hadn't won sectional since 1990, remembered.
We played them last year, one of the early games of the season, and they put a hammer on us early in the season last year when I had a group of young sophomores. And at that point, and ever since then, we've thought to ourselves, we want a rematch, and we want it in the title game.
As far as keys to the game, anything you think is really going to make a difference tonight?
I would think the team that can play with the most composure and keep the ball on the ground is going to have more success.
Churchville Chili won the toss and chose to play against formidable conditions in the first half and with the wind in the second. How significant was it? 23 of the game's 28 recorded shots were taken with the wind at the east end of the field. As such, the Raiders were all over the Saints early. Senior Matt Bischoff set up the first scoring chance of the contest with a pass to David Trebold, who skied it. Play continued at that end with a Fairport corner kick. Anthony Gaglianis took it. Trebold had another chance, but play continued scoreless. Opportunity continued to knock for the Raiders. Midway through the period, Hunter Critchlow beat the defense and got another of 15 first-half shots onto Kyle McCain, who had a very busy half. With 11 minutes left to go to intermission, Fairport finally broke through, and it was a beauty. Alex Mangerian scored on a full bicycle kick.
I had no intention whatsoever of doing a bicycle kick. The ball went up in the air. We wanted to get in the back of the net. I turned around and flipped over. Ball ended up in the back of the net. That was probably the best goal I've ever scored in my life and will ever score.
Is this anything that you've worked on?
No, the only time I've ever tried this, I hurt my back, and I said I'd never try it again, and the situation presented itself, and I just went for it.
Well, I did. That's not a hot dog play, really. That's your only option on a ball like that, right?
Oh, yeah. I figured it was either kick the ball in the back of the net or get wrecked from behind, and I thought the ball in the back of the net was a better option.
Pretty proud that we only gave up 1 goal, especially they threw dangerous balls in all the time. I came out as much as I could to try to come out and take them away, and then they got that one unfortunate one. And I thought it was very unfortunate, just a missed clearance and all those dangerous balls coming in.
It was 1-0 Fairport, and Churchville, playing against the wind, was getting precious few opportunities. But there was one of note. The county's leading scorer, Lucas Fernandez, with a point-blank opportunity, the Fairport defender Ronnie Ubishi blocked. When that happens, are you aware who's taking the shot? He's the league's leading scorer.
I was, and that's why I reacted so quickly to jump straight in and and blocked it.
When the ball came, I stepped right perfectly, just chested up, and I saw it was a collision. The ball just dropped right there. I just took the shot. I was unlucky that I got blocked.
The score stood 1-0 Fairport at the half, with Churchville looking forward to playing with the wind in the second half.
We're gonna win, all right? So let's pick it up and let's go at them. They got 1 goal. Guys, we have the win now. We play every ball dangerous behind their defense. We get behind their defense, we get in on them, we start getting shots off. We're gonna win 3-1.
It's all on. Pick up your game. Pick up your intensity. Pick up your work rate. Okay? Do those little things better. And we'll put 2, 3, 4 in the back of the net.
The tide turned, and now the Saints were getting the bulk of the chances. Frank Ciliberto with a kick. Cam Shipley's header was high. Then Fernandez got another good opportunity to tie the score, getting a shot off between two Fairport defenders.
I wasn't even expecting to get that shot because, again, it was another collision and the ball just dropped right in front of me. And I just shot. I didn't even look up. If I looked up or had the time, I would just slotted it in.
Territorially, Fairport was getting more scoring chances at the west end of the field in the second half than Churchville did in the first. And off a direct kick, cashed one of them. Gaglianese took it, and after a secondary rebound, the ball wound up in the net. Critchlow got credit for the second-rated goal, but it might have been Cameron Hughes. Tell me about the goal, and did you get it?
I really have no idea. Both me and Hunter over there, we both got a piece of it, but all that matters is it went in. Great cross from Ronnie. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. How do you feel? I mean, you go up 2-0. I mean, that's got to allow you to relax a little bit.
Actually, we couldn't relax. They fought harder than any team I've ever seen before. It was a hard-fought game all around. It was unbelievable.
With still the better part of 18 minutes left in the game, Churchville needed something to happen. And it did off a corner kick taken by Ciliberto, placed perfectly in front of the Fairport net. Scoring attempts at the crossbar and the post, but the Saints didn't score and did not get another chance. The final of 2-0 stood. Fairport was the undefeated Class AA Boys Soccer Section 5 champion.
Feels great. It's been a long time coming. Been on the team for 4 years. Been slowly progressing, getting better and better. Last year in the finals, losing, but this year feels great. Best feeling in the world.
You know, a lot of times it's so difficult sometimes to fulfill expectations, and everybody knew this was a loaded team. And you guys go undefeated through the section.
I mean, it was great, and you got a great bunch of guys out here going hard every day. And when they're doing that, good things are going to happen.
When we return, our salute to the season. Welcome back as we present the best of the fall sports season on the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. We are on location on the Panorama Trail in Penfield. Sports and music, teammates in the creative process as we offer our salute to the sports season. Thank you for watching.
I just want to have a good time, man.